Recently, Nintendo unveiled the name and the release date for their next Legend of Zelda game called Tears of the Kingdom, and alongside the name, they also revealed the logo. Well, this has some very interesting illustration contained within the logo itself, and today I want to go through what this could mean in relation to the story for Tears of the Kingdom, plus have a look at the implications on the Zelda timeline as a whole. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Zelda content, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, before we get stuck into the details today, let me know in the comments what you're most excited about when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom. Plus, what do you think that logo means? Well, Nintendo ended their recent Nintendo Direct with the news many of us have been waiting for: the much anticipated name and release date for the next Legend of Zelda game, formerly known as Breath of the Wild 2, and now it's known as The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Alongside the name, we also got some very interesting illustration as part of the logo, and that is a dragon eating its own tail. Well, a dragon eating its own tail also has a specific meaning. It's called an ouroboros. Well, next up, let's have a look at the meaning of ouroboros. So dragons have a particular meaning in the Legend of Zelda series, and most recently in Breath of the Wild. Well, there's 3 dragons in Breath of the Wild. We've got Dinrel, named for the goddess Din, Farosh, named for the goddess Farore, and Naydra, named for the goddess Nehru. According to the dragon enthusiast Ron, legend states that one must be blessed by Hylia to be able to see the dragon spirits, indicating Link has been blessed with such an ability, as he is essentially Hylia's champion, chosen by the Master Sword. Well, the ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or a dragon eating its own tail. The ouroboros entered Western tradition via ancient Egyptian iconography, and also the Greek magical tradition. The ouroboros is often interpreted as a symbol for eternal cyclic renewal, or a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Well, this is a very interesting line, most applicable to The Legend of Zelda. So the eternal cyclic renewal of a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And there is an instance of this put in place by Demise at the end of Skyward Sword, canonically the first game in the Legend of Zelda timeline. Well, at the end of Skyward Sword, Demise is trying to steal Zelda's power, and then all of a sudden Link challenges him. To Demise's shock, Link manages to defeat him, but in his dying throes he warns Link that it's not over, and an incarnation of his hatred is going to be reborn, as a being to pursue domination of the world, as well with those with the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero, in a cycle of rebirth. So Demise is sealed away within the Master Sword, where his remains begin to decay. So once again, this line is very, very important, and also very similar to the description in the Ouroboros. So an incarnation of his hatred will be reborn, as a being to pursue domination of the world, as well as those with the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero, in a cycle of rebirth. That final part there is almost word for word for the description of the Ouroboros. Okay, so you might be asking, what does this mean for Tears of the Kingdom? Well, Tears of the Kingdom shares many design elements with Skyward Sword. So you've got the skydiving, the floating islands, the malice. While Skyward Sword is the canonical first game in the timeline, it could be that Tears of the Kingdom is the last, and we could be about to witness the moment where the end becomes the beginning, and time circles back on itself. Well, we've seen 2 Link designs in the trailer so far, one champion's tunic wearing Link, with hair tied back, and also another Link with longer hair and a different outfit, looking much more basic in attire, even prehistoric. Well, in Tears of the Kingdom, we could be about to play with 2 timelines, one near the end of the timeline, and one near the beginning. Well, time is a circle in The Legend of Zelda, with Demise's curse damning Zelda and Link to fight against his hatred for all eternity. So could we be about to break that curse, or are we cursed to operate within that timeline forever? Well, talking about the timeline, let's have a quick look at the Zelda timeline. So the Zelda timeline starts with Skyward Sword, and branches after Ocarina of Time into 3 distinct routes. So the hero is defeated. That includes A Link to the Past, A Legend of Zelda, and The Adventure of Link. The hero is triumphant. So that includes Twilight Princess, and also 4 Swords Adventures. And then you've got the adult timeline where Ganon is sealed away. and that includes Wind Waker and Spirit Tracks. Well, Link and Zelda may be facing a branching timeline, but eventually that circle completes and time loops back around on itself. So we've got references from all three timelines in Breath of the Wild, which has confused many in the past, meaning Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom may be the convergence point. Well, let's have a look at the implications on the Tears of the Kingdom story. So we've seen in Tears of the Kingdom early trailers, malice pouring out of the mysterious corpse, who many are assuming is Ganondorf. This malice appears to directly be related to pieces of Hyrule floating up into the sky, and these floating sky islands could end up being Skyloft, taking us all the way back to where it began in Skyward Sword. We see in the latest trailer a tapestry, which holds important plot points for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We see a battle supported by malice, a large yet undefined figure surrounded by 7 items, plus a female figure passed out and raised into the sky, followed by what appears to be the same female figure, holding hands with a mysterious partner. Well, I don't know how it's all going to tie together just yet, but I do believe in a couple of things. So the pieces of Hyrule floating back up into the sky are going to turn into Skyloft. The female figure in the tapestry is Princess Zelda. She's either dead or transforming back into the goddess Hylia. The 7 items are likely to be the literal Tears of the Kingdom, and we're either going to collect those or they're going to be held by the 7 sages. And from a gameplay perspective, I'm hopeful that these 7 items, or the 7 tiers, mean dungeons, and that would answer one of the major pieces of audience feedback related to Breath of the Wild, with many people asking for the return of dungeons. Link has a canister or device on his hip, and that could be related to collecting the Tears of the Kingdom, and maybe there's some time travel implications here. We've seen Link controlling time to a certain extent through pushing a spike ball back up a hill, plus we've seen Link travelling upwards into the air via a falling block reversing. Also, we've seen Link reversing time by travelling up into the air via a droplet mechanic, and this may be one of the Tears of the Kingdom. As for the mysterious figure, I have a feeling that could be Link, or a representation of Link. This is likely to be the owner of the mysterious arm holding Ganondorf in place under Hyrule, which could be why the arm latches onto Link and the convergence moment starts to happen once again, just like it has thousands of times before in this time loop. I truly believe we're going to witness the moment of the end, where time circles back on itself. Each piece of the Triforce is going to play an important role here, so power, courage and wisdom, and there's likely going to be a moment with Ganondorf or Demise, Zelda or Hylia, and Link, and perhaps this creature too. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of this theory, plus also the timeline implications for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, that is it for this look at The End is the Beginning in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For more Legend of Zelda content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to Triforce Times, or you can check me out on Twitter at Triforce Times. Well, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.